Hello, I'm BMillzebub, and welcome to a new Apostate interviews. Uh, Tonight, I actually have a really new person to the community. He's only got 3 videos up on his channel, and I gotta say that the video quality kicks the crap out of mine. I'm gonna not delay any longer, and let's give Jake the Atheist a warm welcome. How you doing, man?
Hey, it's good to be here. I haven't done one of these interviews before, so I'm very excited and a little bit nervous, but that's probably just the energy drink I had like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, I mean that'll do it. Look at it this way, man. This will be a real easy kind of introduction to the interview process because I mean, like, I can't think of any actual difficult interviews in the atheist community, but you know,
Yeah,
mine I think might be one of the easier ones because I only ask like 6 questions. And I just sort of let you do your own rambling.
sure. Yep, that sounds perfectly fine.
But yeah, speaking of kicking off the interview process and letting you do your own rambling, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Yeah, so my channel started, I think I posted my first video at the beginning of the year, somewhere in the middle of January. So I've not been doing this very long. Like he said, I've got 3 videos on my channel so far. I'm working on more right now, but yeah, it was after I posted my 3rd video, kind of talking about my deconversion story. That one was kind of the one that took off a little bit. I don't know if it was the YouTube algorithm or something else, but I guess it got in front of enough people, and enough people started following my channel that I got some followers on Twitter and stuff like that. And then we were able to do this kind of interview and stuff. And so I don't know. So far, all my experiences with the videos that I've posted and everyone that's commented on my channel has been like really positive. And it's just really encouraging when I'm kind of still figuring everything out and just a little bit self-conscious and unsure of like how my videos will fit into the atheist community on YouTube. So I definitely feel, excited to keep making videos and just meet a lot more cool people, like the one that's interviewing me today. But yeah, I come from like a background of video production and kind of like graphic design experience. I do that for work right now currently. So I have a closet right behind me completely full of video gear and lighting stuff. And so like as I was kind of working my way through my deconversion story, well, not the video, but like actually deconverting, I would watch videos online of other atheist YouTubers and stuff, kind of talking about different kind of points of contention that they have with religion, their perspective on stuff, and just watching the videos that they made and just the kind of subject matter that really interested me. I started learning more about that kind of stuff, and I ended up kind of becoming super passionate about atheism and these kind of skeptical, reasonable, humanist kind of ways of thinking. And I guess I wanted to give back a little bit to the atheist community with all of my video experience. Kind of looking at, I know Seth Anders has some media production experience and other creators like that. And I was like, well, I can do that. So I figured, why not add my skills and just try and bring a little bit more of my signature production quality to some of the kind of ideas that are kind of tumbling around in my head. So I guess that's a little bit of background on my channel and me, but yeah, that's about it for now.
All right. Purple rhymes with orange actually brings up a point that I forgot to mention before we started. If you feel uncomfortable answering a question, just say you're not comfortable or you don't want to answer it, and I'll just move on like I hadn't asked the question at all.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, I'm not too secretive about anything. Yeah, like I don't think it, at least me personally, I understand how some people would want to like withhold certain things if they have got, like family members and stuff that they don't really want to, I guess, find out certain things. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's kind of fun to be honest and open and just kind of talk about whatever. So,
yeah. But yeah. So what religion did you like grow up in, or kind of the different religions you grew up with? Not really all that familiar with the story.
Yeah. So I was raised Christian, primarily within like the Assemblies of God, evangelical denominations. Starting out as a kid, I don't honestly know like the first church that we went to, what denomination that one was, but kind of after elementary school, the church that we stuck with was Assemblies of God, and a lot of kind of that evangelical mindset. There's a lot of like kind of Holy Spirit, speaking in tongues kind of stuff involved. And it was a little bit more contemporary than certain churches, but a lot of like the fundamentalist parts of the Christianity that I was raised with came out of like the homeschooling side of things. I was homeschooled through middle school and high school as well. And that curriculum really focused a lot on like literal interpretation of the Bible, creationism, all that kind of stuff. Kind of like the biblical take on like husbands and wives and women and all this stuff that doesn't really fit the way that I see the world now. And that was kind of the part, I guess, the part of my religious experience that I guess had me asking questions, before I took a look at the bigger picture,
All right. So you were a young Earth creationist for a while there, or?
Yeah. I don't know if I was like a hardcore apologist for creationism or anything, but I definitely learned kind of like a lot of the like the topics that they would bring up to kind of defend that, which half of those were pretty much just like, oh, look what science found, and then they found something else that changed this, so science can't be trusted, right? And I used to think, oh yeah, science is dumb, but like science is the ones that prove themselves wrong, in that anyway. So it's
kind of the point too.
Yeah. There's still a lot of kind of like assumptions and, that whole God of the gaps argument where it's like, we don't know. So, it's gotta be God or nothing, that kind of thing. That was a lot of it too. But yeah, it kind of looking back at it with what I've learned of science now. Just, I don't know. I don't know why I believe that stuff, but yeah, I guess it's good that I learned to unlearn it, because now I'll probably make videos about it and kind of walk through certain arguments that I used to hold and just kind of talk about my perspectives now versus then. So I think it's valuable.
Yeah. Oh hell. So I mean, what is it that got you to like? What kind of research did you do that made you realize that young Earth creationism was kind of bunk?
I would say a lot of it started with kind of the like the YouTubers that I just started watching in general. I know Aaron Ra does a lot of research into that, about like our evolution and some of like the archaeology. Is that the right word? Geological, archaeological stuff. I think he's a specialist in anthropology or something. But yeah, his videos were really helpful. His Foundational Falsehoods of Creationism was a really good series. I watched that like a bunch of times. But yeah, that was kind of the main, I guess some of the main material that I started to look at as I was changing my mind. But then it was, also just looking back, kind of after I learned more and understood, more about logical fallacies and these kind of like a little bit manipulative arguments that people would use. I've kind of learned how to spot those a little bit more easily. And when I would go back and look at the other kind of arguments, I would realize that so much of it is just based on, either like an unknown or, just kind of like these non-scientific things that are just kind of like used as reasons to distrust science or reasons to just assume that, an alternative is true. And so it was a little bit of research, a little bit of kind of like scientific knowledge, and then I guess a little bit of being able to, I guess, spot bullshit when you see it.
I mean, congratulations for getting through the foundational falsehoods of creationism, because, yeah, damn. I mean, Aaron's an entertaining dude. I've had him on here for an interview, but I mean, the average length of one of those, I think, is like 45 minutes. So
Yeah.
Good on you for getting through the series. That's impressive.
Yeah, the trick is watch all your videos on 1.5 speed. I do that with like pretty much everything that's like educational nowadays, just because I guess I don't know what it is about people that are trying to teach something on YouTube, but they always talk so slow. And I'm like, I can save so much time just by speeding this up a little bit. And I don't know. I guess I think that has something to do with a little bit why I'm nervous on this interview, because I feel like I have to talk at 1.5 speed just because that's what I'm used to on YouTube. But I'll slow it down, I guess. I don't know. Am I talking fast?
Oh, you're good. You're good. Papa Shu says hello.
Oh, hey. How's it going? That's my dad, if anyone's wondering.
Well, hello, Jake's dad. It's good to have you here. Glad you're giving this a watch.
I don't have the YouTube open right now. I can't tell who's watching, but that's probably a good thing. It'll either freak me out if the number's high, or I'll just be like, oh, okay, so, oh no, there's nobody watching. What am I going to do?
Yeah, I mean, there should be like a sidebar thing that lets you look at private chat between just me and you, and comments coming to YouTube.
Oh, technology. Nice.
But yeah, so that's kind of the story of how you got out of creationism. What about like your deconversion from religion? Can you talk about that a little bit?
Sure. Yeah. So a lot of it started with my my brother's diagnosis with cancer. There was a couple of kind of like issues with kind of friends and stuff in the church where I kind of had to learn firsthand that like people inside the church and people outside the church aren't really all that different. And, what makes us good and what makes us treat each other well might not be, the Bible or a God belief. And that, I guess, started me on the path of asking questions, like, a little bit more philosophical and not so much like questioning my beliefs, but just trying to understand, myself and other people a little bit more, like what makes us tick, essentially. And that was kind of around the time when my brother was also diagnosed. So I had kind of a lot of issues kind of compounding, motivating me to kind of look for, I guess, answers for questions that I didn't really know I had until now. But yeah, I started by looking into like Stoic philosophy. They talked a lot about, trying to like only focus on what you can control, and there's just the acceptance of death, even without, the promise of an afterlife, that kind of stuff. It wasn't like a religion for me. It was just super interesting to kind of like hear their perspective. Because I don't think before then I had ever really looked into any sort of writings or books or teaching that wasn't like exclusively Christian. So I was like, oh, other people have thought about this stuff, and this actually makes some sense too. So that was kind of the initial, I guess, step into like philosophy and that kind of thing. And from there was a lot of following, other YouTube creators, atheists, and just kind of like learning about logic and some of the problems of the Bible, and a lot more of like the history of the Bible and like how it was written, and like so many of the books, the revisions that have been made, and the anonymity of the authors. It was just kind of all added up to be ultimately something that, like, at best we have weak evidence for, and in some cases there's really no evidence to support the kind of stuff that's in the Bible. So I guess after a while, I wasn't so much faced with the dilemma of asking myself, like, do I believe? I think I just woke up one day and I was just like, yeah, I guess I don't believe this stuff anymore. I never tried to reason myself out of it. I just wanted to learn more about it and learn as much about it as I could. Because I wasn't questioning to try and prove myself wrong or prove myself right. I just wanted to know, what was true and what was worth, I guess living for. Because if you're going to put your whole life into something, you might as well have some evidence to back it up, and some at least reasonable certainty that what the beliefs you hold are true. So yeah, that was a lot of the motivation for my deconversion. And yeah, I've only continued to learn from there, and I'm still learning, but I'm trying to kind of give back some of my knowledge to more people on YouTube. So that's where I'm at now.
You sort of answered this question, but I'm kind of curious. You said that there really wasn't any interest in trying to prove yourself wrong or right, but was there ever an occasion where confirmation bias kind of creeped in and you're like, I kind of want to prove myself right? Was there anything like that you came across ever?
I don't know. I mean, I've definitely encountered it. I still encounter it, today when I'm researching, stuff, or even points that like my Christian friends will bring up. A lot of the times I have to kind of fight for an objective way of looking at things. But I can't think of any specific examples. I'm probably just blanking, but last night I was thinking about that and confirmation bias and that kind of thing. And kind of I came to the realization that, like, even if I found out tomorrow that like everything I believed wasn't true, like I don't think I would be upset about that, because it would mean that I had found evidence, to support a more true, I guess, position. And that's kind of all I want to do. All I want to, I guess, live by. And so I guess I'm not really trying to tie myself to a belief so much. And it's, yeah, I just want to live like Matt Dillahunty says. I just want to believe as many true things as possible and as few false things. So, yeah, I'm sorry, I can't come up with any specific examples right now. But
good.
Yeah, that's what I try to, the philosophy I try to have approaching this kind of stuff, where I probably do have some, but I try to avoid it, but yeah. Sorry.
Well, I mean, it sounds like the study of Stoic philosophy philosophy work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What you said, if everything I believed was true is proved wrong tomorrow, I don't think it'd bother me that much. That's pretty good stoicism there.
Yeah.
And that's
honestly,
probably the hardest question you're going to be asked on this interview tonight.
yeah.
So,
Yeah. No. It's not your fault. Honestly, I just got these headphones like 2 days ago, and they're like noise canceling. And so trying to get used to like hearing my, like the voice, you can usually hear yourself when you talk, but when I'm talking right now, it's like quieter. And so there's a little bit of a dynamic difference, like when I'm talking, where I can't quite hear myself the way I used to. And so it's a little bit weird. And like, I know the end of that question, when I was answering it, it was a little bit kind of trailing off because I was very distracted by my quiet head. It's oh my God.
oh hell. Let's see. I normally this is the part where I ask what got you to start making content, but you actually have already been over that. But yeah, so I actually kind of want to talk about you a little bit more. We'll
Sure.
save the remainder of the questions I've got for later on, but I think it's on your Instagram. You used to be a model.
Okay. No, not really. I've considered becoming a model, but yeah, no, when I say like former model Christian, I mean more specifically like a really good poster child Christian. I should have clarified that before the meeting or before the interview, but yeah, I haven't been a model. Some people have told me that I probably should try. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe someday it'll be true. But yeah, I pretty much I was, full in on Christianity. A lot of people, you hear a lot of people make kind of like the no true Scotsman argument, after people leave religion. And that was something that I really wanted to kind of like clarify to people that, once I left, that I wasn't, kind of like one of these wishy-washy Christians or somebody who just sat in the back the whole time. I was definitely fully invested, and I believed everything they taught. And so I just included that on my Instagram just to kind of like add to the fact that like I used to genuinely believe this stuff and now I don't. And, I just don't want to I don't want to deal with that stuff. It's been dealt with before. It'll probably come up, but I don't know.
Definitely.
Hopefully not as often, but
yeah, it's less than a week ago I got a comment on a video saying that I can't have actually been a Christian and say the thing about Christianity I do now.
Yeah.
So the no Scotsman thing will never go away.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
That line in my bio will probably not save me. Might delay it by a month or so, but I'm sure those comments will come. So
yeah, I think what happened is I just missed it. Like I might have thought there was a comma between model and Christian. So
yeah,
like looking at like pictures of you and actually looking at you now, I'm like, can I actually believe that?
Well, thank you. Yeah, I don't know. If I had a little bit more free time, I might consider that. But yeah, I'll keep you updated on that.
I'd appreciate that. But yeah, no. To quote Nick Offerman talking about Rob Lowe, when you look like you can do anything. Just keep looking at me.
Yeah.
Oh God. So like you mentioned that you do some like audio video editing sort of stuff. Do you want to talk about that or?
Sure. Yeah. So that started with me and my younger brother, like when I was 15, just kind of like kids do. They find a camera, they just shoot a dumb video. He was kind of the charismatic one. He was in front of the camera, I was behind the camera, just because I liked, I guess, kind of techie stuff, and it was fun for me to kind of learn how cameras work and how to get, I guess, good looking shots, good looking lighting, all that stuff. And so we kind of would just have fun, mess around, shoot little sketches and that kind of thing. We made a channel for it, and we were, we had fun, and I don't know if we were good, but we had a decent audience, and we felt like we were honestly headed for like the path of like the Kendrick brothers or something like that. This was when we still believed. Like, we would watch all these Christian movies and we were like, oh, these are so good. But, obviously they're nowhere near the level of like real movies. But yeah, it was, but that's kind of where our heads were at. And, we worked on like short films for like our church. They would have like an arts festival every year, and we would always win those competitions because he was always good at coming up with stories and ideas. And I was not very good at stories and ideas, but I was good at, I guess, polishing them, making them look nice. And so we made a good team, and yeah, we worked on that, and just kind of made Christian-ish content, some funny stuff, some more heavily religious stuff for a while. And that kind of turned into, once we got older, a little bit of a business. We did some freelance stuff, weddings, that kind of thing. So yeah, we have the experience, we have a portfolio and everything, but yeah, I kind of took that over once he was diagnosed and passed away from cancer. And ever since then, like, our Christian channel is like, it's just done, obviously, because I'm the only one now, and he's and I'm not Christian anymore. So yeah, it's still on YouTube. I might go back one day and review all those videos. And because one of them was like a fan film, essentially, of the Owl City song, This Isn't the End, and we made it like super religious, and it actually turned out really well. I was really proud of it. It got like 8 million views or something. But yeah, it's wildly different than the kind of stuff that I'm going to be making. So yeah, that's kind of how I got my start. And the job I work now is, just kind of informational videos and product photography, stuff like that. So I've always been around cameras my whole life, and I do a little bit of kind of like freelance photography here and there too. So I've kind of always been the one that's, I guess, interested in cameras, and I don't know, I like having fun. I like all parts of the media enterprise, the Hollywood machine. Just, I don't know. But now I get to do it for atheism, so I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be fun.
Yeah, that definitely explains your comfort on the camera, because I've watched all 3 of the videos you put up so far, and like, I'm still awkward. Like, less so on videos like this where I'm talking normally. I'm not scripted or anything like that, so I get to come across more naturally, less mechanically. But when I'm scripted, I need to work on that.
Yeah, honestly, when I started my channel, I had kind of that debate in my head of if I wanted to do scripts or just kind of like wing it. Like, and so far the only videos I have on my channel are just all outlines. I haven't scripted anything yet, because honestly, I don't know how well I would do reading off of a script. I do that kind of stuff for work, and it's still, you can tell, I'm not an actor by any means. I'm still a little bit better behind the camera. But yeah, so yeah, I don't know. I guess your experience seems to be, you prefer a little bit of that riffing, that kind of natural flow, as opposed to all scripted.
Yeah, the problem is, if I don't script it, I get lost in my head. I completely lose the plot, and the video is just suddenly something entirely different.
Yeah, I've for my last 2 videos, I did just like a simple Google Doc, like an outline where I just had bullet points, and that worked okay. I still had to do a bunch of editing to it, but yeah, I don't know. Like, it felt like a good idea, but I still don't know if it's a good idea because I'm so new. So I don't know. I might be doing everything wrong, but I guess we'll see. I guess it's doing enough though. If you thought it was worth watching and worth having me on here.
Yeah. So Catherine, I'm assuming it's pronounced Schumacher. I'm going with the more German version.
Yes.
What is a model Christian? Do they even exist? Thoughts?
I mean, I think I would say yes. I think it's a little bit subjective. Just like anything, everybody has their own understanding of their religion, just like they have their own understanding of anything else. I guess it's, in some ways it could be who lives out their Christianity most aligned with, I guess, the majority of Christians or something like that, or maybe most in line with what the Bible says. But yeah, like I definitely think there are people who, are more committed to, their religious practice and their expression than other people. There's a lot of complaint. There was a lot of complaint of that in the church, like a lot of like the young people who weren't, committing or like, weren't really trying to engage. And there are people who engage a lot more. And so I think you can say that, I guess, depending on your level of involvement, that would at least give some indicator of like, they're trying to be involved and they're trying to, I guess, help the church or Christianity in general just kind of grow. Because that's ultimately what it's about, right? Like, go forth to all the world, spread the gospel. But yeah, it's a little bit subjective, but I would say, if you have an understanding of the Bible, you can, that's kind of the ultimate guide according to Christians and Christianity, Yeah.
So your dad apparently went and looked, and your music video has 9 million plus views. So
wow, yeah, I'll definitely review that. Yeah, I don't know. Sometime I'll share that channel. But yeah, it's worth a watch.
That's going to be one of those things you keep a little close to your vest for the time being. Right?
Yeah.
I don't blame you. Like my past is pretty cringe. If I made YouTube videos when I was your age, holy shit.
yeah. I have videos that we haven't even uploaded. Like, if you think the ones that are uploaded on that channel are bad, like there's some that we have never uploaded that are a lot worse. But yeah. I think it's fun to laugh at yourself. So, that's a good idea. I'll one of these days I'll get that channel and I'll show that to make a video about that, and I'll react to some stuff.
I can imagine it now. You do something in the old video and you're like, what compelled me to think this was a good idea?
Yeah. I want to do a lot of kind of that stuff with my channel, not exclusively like educational, or like heavy-handed, like deep topics. I want to have those, obviously. There's still like a lot of questions that I want to dig into, and kind of talk about with people. But yeah, I want to do kind of a little bit of everything. There's a lot of stuff that I could review and kind of give my thoughts about, which I think would be fun, just to kind of like talk about, a video or like a sermon or something like that. That's, wildly off base, and just kind of riff on that, or even stuff that's not even strictly related to kind of like atheism. Like, I've thought about even doing like some games and stuff on my channel, which I know you have a gaming channel as well. And I was thinking today, like, is that, is it better to separate it or keep it together? Because, I don't know. I saw the tweet from Ethan of your friendly neighborhood atheist, and he was talking about just normalizing all different kinds of stuff with atheism. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's a question for you. Like, if you've noticed that people like channels to stick to one thing or not, or just kind of do a bunch of things.
I mean, I kind of try to compartmentalize a little bit because, like, the way I see it, my main channel, I can kind of drift into being funny and talk about some not serious thing.
Mm-hmm.
But like people who at least as far as I've seen, people who watch gaming videos just want to see that,
Yeah.
you know.
Okay.
And you got Purple Rhymes with Orange taking a dig at me from the comments section for my poetry channel, which is all poems I wrote between the age of 15 to 22, and it was all bad. And that I kind of want to separate for somewhat obvious reasons.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like my old videos.
So, I mean, it kind of depends. Like, I kind of based it off of what I thought my audience would be into. And I didn't think they'd be so into gaming or my really bad poetry from when I was a kid.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
kind of split those two off into their own channels. But I mean,
Gotcha.
I would just base it off of your own personal preference and what you think your audience will be into. And your audience is growing. So
Yeah.
you'll probably have an answer to that sooner rather than later.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'll play it by ear. I guess we'll see if the dislikes start coming, and then we can change course from there.
Yeah, I mean, or you could dip your toe into the water and put a little bit of gaming on your channel. Kind of.
Yeah. I've thought about doing just live streams, where they don't kind of like stay on, but if people like, maybe I'll just go live, on my atheism channel, and maybe just hide the VODs somewhere, way in the back of my channel, but just something that you can get a little bit of the live experience, and not have to worry about, like, I guess, picking and choosing with what I upload, and just keep my uploads to the kind of the other stuff that I'll, I guess, regularly post. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the diversity is a good thing. I'm starting to diversify my main channel more, but
Okay.
I mean, it depends. It's all about what'll keep your audience interested and engaged.
Yeah.
But yeah, just as you grow, pay attention to what your audience likes, and if it's something you're into, I say go for it.
Cool. Yeah, there's a lot of ideas that I have that I want to kick off, but sometimes I feel like I'm still too new, or I don't have enough videos like set as like a standard to try them out. I don't know why, but it's like, oh yeah, that's a good idea, but I should wait until I have more videos out. Don't want to throw too many people off, where it's like I gotta wait until I've got like a little bit more of an audience or something. Like, I don't know. I don't know why I don't need to have a status quo. I think whatever's fun, whatever's, I guess whatever I think is interesting will probably be interesting to other people too.
Yeah, man, I say go for it. Like, if you want to see what'll actually work, I mean, you could be playing Call of Duty and talking about, whatever it is you feel like talking about in the moment. It's all about what you want to do. And I've found that if you actually care about what you're talking about or what you're doing, that'll show through to your audience. And man, I'll tell you what, people on YouTube like more authentic people.
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed, like, if you actually care about what you're talking, people are more interested in listening.
Yeah.
But
I think that's
actually give a damn. People are going to notice, and they're not going to care.
Yeah, I think that just makes it more fun for everyone. You don't want to make videos about stuff that you're not passionate about, and people can sense passion. It feels like when they're watching something, and it's just, I guess, stick with what, and I guess if people want to see content from you that you're not so excited about making, either cut down on it or just let those people go. Maybe, I don't know. I'm talking like I have a ton of experience here.
I've got almost 3 years of experience making videos on YouTube, and
Nice.
half the time I still don't think I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I just kind of do things.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's, man, whatever you're passionate about, there almost definitely is going to be an audience out there for it. So
Yeah.
just dive in head first. Just
yeah, that's good. And I think most people who subscribe, don't do it exclusively for the content either. I'm sure there's a lot of investment in the person behind it too. So you want to see your friends succeed and kind of like follow what they're passionate about. And in some ways, people who make content online and people who watch that content, it's almost the same kind of dynamic where it's like you're a little bit invested in the person. At least that's kind of been my initial impression, and just kind of like the way that I've been following other YouTubers. And then if there's something that they want to try out or something, I'm usually fine with it. So I think I'll be good if I want to experiment a little bit with my channel.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely have the video editing chops, man. You got that down to like a science.
Thank you. Honestly, I'm kind of a perfectionist when it comes to like my content. Like my first 2 videos, you can see like the first video I ever made, I filmed in my car on my phone because I had been wanting to start my channel for a while, and I was always like, well, it takes a while to make a video and I got to make it right. And then one day I was just like, forget that. I'm just going to shoot it on my phone. It's going to take me 2 minutes. I'm just going to put something out there. Like I just said, like, I'm putting this video on my channel so that now I have a video on my channel and now I have to make more videos. And it was just super simple. It just went live. There's nothing special about it. But yeah, it just kind of helped me, I guess, kick into gear a little bit. And that motivated me to make my next video and then the one after that. But yeah, if you watch my deconversion video, that's probably the top level of production that I'll ever hit. My second video is the one where I kind of talk about what I want to do with my channel and that kind of thing is more so what I want to stick with, just because, when you get into the habit of setting up a lot of lights and, a camera and like a separate mic and all this stuff, and 2 hours of setup, 2 hours of tear down, shooting for an hour, all that editing, it kind of becomes a hassle. And I want to, I guess, minimize as much work like on my videos as possible. Like I want them to be good, obviously, but I want them to be, I don't want it to be hard to make, because I feel like that would just hinder me in the future, and make it harder to motivate myself. So I guess my workflow will probably be a little bit of a mix between, quality and quantity. But yeah, I'm still figuring it out a little bit, but I appreciate the compliment. I do my best with everything that I do, even if it's a little bit rushed.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to when I get a bit of a change of scenery, because this puke green is not doing it. But yeah, so let's actually get a little more into your channel. I know you don't have much that you've got up yet, but is there like a video in the works that you're really excited about coming up?
Yeah, the one that I'm working on next is I'm going to try and start with a couple of, I guess, surface level, almost introductions to atheism. There's a couple of friends that follow me and stuff who are still Christians, and even my family a little bit like doesn't quite understand atheism and what I believe specifically. And so I kind of want to go into that a little bit. It may seem repetitive to some of the subscribers who are atheists and familiar with a lot of the other YouTubers. But I want to go into like what atheism really means, and kind of some of the different terms that we use, that aren't like, that aren't the same definitions as what I learned, in church. They obviously kind of told people what atheists were like, and kind of had a different explanation than what atheism really is. And now that I'm kind of am an atheist, I guess I don't want, the people who from my old church or anything like that who knew me to kind of like associate the wrong things with atheism. So I want to, I guess, put a positive light on atheism, and I guess define it a little bit more exactly for people who don't know all the details and I guess all the connotations that come with that term, because there's a lot of stuff that gets lumped into the term atheism that really shouldn't. A lot of people just throw in like evolution and all these other progressive ideas, when atheism is essentially just the answering the question is, do you believe in God or not? That's it. And yeah, that's probably what I'm going to start with. And yeah, I don't know where I'm going to go from there, but I might react to something after that. I have a playlist of stuff that I can react to, but I have to check that again. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Well, let me put it to you this way. If I exclude a couple of live stream series that I've got, in like, I've got a whole folder of YouTube video ideas. If I exclude that, I've got 68 or 69 things just sitting in a queue.
Wow.
Waiting to be done.
Yeah.
In various stages of completion. So
yeah. Wow.
The ideas are going to come quick.
Yeah.
And you're going to fall way behind on them.
Oh, no.
So I would say that's a good thing, man. That just means you're going to have a channel for a good long time.
Yeah. I mean, I hope so. At the rate it's going, I'm optimistic about it. And I've already met so many awesome people like you and Ethan and other people. So I'm excited. I don't know exactly where I'm going to go with my channel yet, but I know I want to do something like this. And I guess I just want to help people who were in the position that I was, I guess, see things from another perspective. Not so much trying to convince people, just trying to make them aware, and just know that there's another option. And not everything is known, not everything's black and white, and that's okay. You don't have to claim to know more than you can actually prove. But yeah, I'm excited, and I'm definitely going to be working on more videos as soon as I can.
I'm looking forward to seeing them.
Thank you.
So I've got one last kind of big question that I kind of like to bring all my interviews to a close with. Is there anything from your previous Christianity that still sticks with you, like the fear of hell or some kind of sexual repression, anything like that?
Let me think. Honestly, there's a little bit of the, I guess, disappointment that, like, you're not going to live forever. Not so much a fear of hell. I'm not, I don't have that kind of trauma from, some other people's like religious indoctrination experiences, but there's a lot of like a little bit of that kind of like, oh, I really wish that like, I would stick around for forever or something, or, you always miss people who have passed away, and, sometimes, I can understand the desire to want to see people again, but that, it's a valid feeling, and it makes sense why people would come up with spiritual ideas and religious ideas to, I guess, soften the blow. Maybe there's a lot of different reasons for it, but sometimes I'll catch myself like that, especially thinking about my brother. Like, it would be nice to be able to see him again, but I know that, like, the evidence doesn't reflect that, and there's no, I guess, no good reason to hold any belief in something supernatural happening. And I'm after studying Stoicism and stuff like that, like, I'm comfortable with the idea of dying and not existing. But there's a couple of moments where I'll be thinking about something, and I'll be like, it would be nice if that was true. But I just have to be honest with myself, and it's like, that's not where the evidence points, that we can't verify any of that. And as far as we know, that's just all a fabrication. So I think that's one of the biggest things for me. And yeah, it's not really a lasting thing, but yeah, I do notice it every once in a while. But I've been thinking more recently too about, like, the issue of, like, living forever. And, like, I was thinking I might do a video about this as well. But, like, even if you were, like, in heaven, in paradise, say you're on, like, another Earth, but, like, way better, like, none of the bad stuff, that kind of thing, the stuff that they put in Revelation, the new Earth and everything, it's all perfect. Say you live there forever, like, you could read every book, you could watch every movie, you could make friends with everybody on the planet, you could climb every mountain, you could, like, do everything and try everything, and you'd still have the same amount of time left as you did when you started. Like, you could spend, like, tens of thousands of years just experiencing and doing stuff. And I feel like infinity would just drive you insane after a while. Like, that's, if you think about it, it doesn't sound enjoyable. I think you would eventually get to the point where people would probably try and like, escape eternity, or find some sort of closure or ending, that kind of thing. It appeals to me less nowadays, the idea that, we exist forever, because, I think in order to really appreciate the life that we have, I think, there needs to be a little bit of urgency, I guess, behind it. Death is a good motivator, and, it's good to kind of contemplate and think about. It's a humbling thing. And that's a little bit of kind of like Stoicism, I guess, applied to Christianity. But yeah, that's kind of what I think now. And it's not so much a belief that's carried over from Christianity, more so just kind of like a, if things work that way, it'd be nice, but they don't. So I guess I'll wait until more evidence can be found of supernatural, which is unprovable.
See, it's kind of funny because I don't know if you've seen The Good Place. Have you ever watched that show?
I did. Yeah.
Oh my God. Have you seen it all the way through?
Yeah. My wife and I actually finished watching it a couple months ago. I'd say like 2 months ago. And yeah, that ending was like, that was one thing where I was like, that's kind of what I was thinking. Where they all ended up leaving. I was like, well, maybe I was a little bit right about that. Makes sense. So yeah, it's a good show though. I like that.
I enjoyed it, man. It's there aren't a lot of shows that end well, but man, that was one.
Yeah. And having watched it like so recently, there's a lot of, all the talks about like philosophy and stuff and ethics. I was like, I like this show. It's nerdy, but it's funny, but it's like, it's kind of like, it's right in my wheelhouse.
Yeah, it kind of tricks you into learning philosophy.
Yeah. I love the trolley problem stuff too, when they bring that out and they're all like, they actually simulate it. It's wild.
Yeah, I think I got about 3, because I started watching it late, I think, and I got about 3 seasons in, and it just clicked in my brain one episode. I'm like, wait a minute, am I learning?
Yeah.
I feel duped.
I feel like there's like an age when you're like 5 or 6 when you're watching Sesame Street where you have that same realization, those kind of things.
Yeah, you're watching Sesame Street, you learn about empathy. Am I learning?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're even younger than that, watching Dora the Explorer. Wait a minute, I'm learning a new language.
Yeah. Are those numbers in my children's show? Excuse me?
Did I just learn math? Damn it, I did.
Yeah.
But I think this is a pretty good closing point to end the interview on. So I kind of like to open and close the same way, and that's with my guest doing a little bit of shameless self-promotion. So why don't you go ahead and promote your channel?
Sure. Yeah. My channel is called Jake the Atheist. All my socials are at Atheist Jake, one word, all lowercase. YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. I don't understand Twitter very much, but I'm doing my best. That's probably a good place to like ask me questions or anything. But Instagram, I actually really enjoy posting on Instagram. I share a lot of quotes from, other philosophers or atheists, that kind of thing. And my YouTube channel, obviously, I'm going to be posting more videos very soon. So check me out in all those places. And yeah, I appreciate every follow and every subscriber. I'll do my best to interact if you guys leave a comment or anything.
Yeah, and actually to cut out the work for the audience, I've actually posted links to your Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube channel in the description.
Sweet.
So
nice.
You can all find those just above my link tree.
Yeah.
So definitely follow Jake. You said you're more active on Instagram?
A little bit. Yeah, I'm pretty familiar with Instagram. I try and make all my posts look nice, but I'm definitely active on Twitter. I don't tweet so much as retweet things. But I don't know. I'm still figuring that out. I feel like nobody really understands Twitter.
Anyone that says it is probably lying to you,
Yeah.
or they are the Twitter algorithm, and
Yeah.
they should be destroyed before they become Skynet.
Yeah.
Man, I am dating myself with these references. But yes, absolutely, definitely do follow Jake. I look forward to his videos that are coming up. So definitely. You actually just passed the 100 subscriber threshold to get a custom URL, didn't you?
Yeah. So all my socials and now my YouTube all end with the same tag, which is it's nice. It satisfies my inner perfectionist. But yeah, that was kind of cool. When that Twitter thread started, I think that was where we first kind of met, right? Was in Ethan's comment. Yeah, that was great. He was like, everybody, he needs 13 more. Go subscribe. And I was like, oh my God, it's happening. It's wild to see the growth that's happened to my channel, just posting 3 videos. So I'm excited to see what happens in the next 3.
Oh yeah. But that's going to do it in the next one. Hopefully all of you enjoyed meeting Jake. I know for a fact that I enjoyed talking to this guy. He's a pretty cool dude. So
thank you. You're awesome.
Yeah, again, head over to his socials linked below, give him a follow, and it's one of those directions.
Yeah.
I can never keep it straight, so
yeah,
not too worried. But that is going to do it for this one. Thank you everybody for coming, and we'll see you all in the next one.